The days are getting shorter, the weather is getting a little colder, a little wetter, and you're finding that your motivation is dipping. Stop beating yourself up. It's only natural. Everybody finds riding in the winter a challenge. Your motivation is going to decline. So today I want to talk about some of the things you can do to try and keep yourself motivated, to keep yourself riding your bike, even when the weather is not really the most inviting. So, how do we stay motivated in the winter? Especially for some of the older riders out there, riders like myself, who are in their 60s. I have a lot of experience with struggling with motivation over the winter. I vividly remember years ago training for a half Ironman. It was February, and I had to go out and do a 3 or a 4 hour ride in the rain by myself, and then I was supposed to follow that ride with an hour and a half long run. And I remember coming back after about 3 hours in the rain. I got off my bike and I sat down and I just broke down. I could not continue with that workout. So ever since that day, I've always found riding in the winter a bit of a challenge. So I'm really fortunate. I have access to a wonderful gym, and as a result, I spend a lot of time riding my bike on Zwift during the winter. I find Zwift an incredible tool in terms of motivation. There are workouts, there are group rides, there's a real social aspect to riding on Zwift that I think really keeps me getting out into the gym and riding my bike. The other thing you want to consider is that winter really is a good time for you to rest and recover. This is an opportunity for your body to rebuild. You spent the summer working hard, doing your best to improve your endurance and your strength. Now's the time to relax a little bit. Don't be afraid to do shorter rides. A 2 hour ride on Zwift will be more than enough to set you up for success in the spring when you get back outside to start doing some of those longer rides. I usually go out and I ride for about an hour on average on Zwift, and I find that is more than enough to keep me in reasonably good shape for the spring and summer. A great thing to do, of course, is to set yourself some concrete goals. Sign up for some races. Catherine and I always plan races for the spring and the summer at the beginning of the winter or midwinter, and that gives us something to look forward to once the days start getting a little longer and a little bit warmer. So set goals, plan some races. Not only might you want to consider signing up for some races, but maybe you might want to try planning for a biking holiday. In the last couple of years, Catherine and I have flown off to some pretty exotic locations. Again, we're really fortunate that we can do that, but having a trip planned for the Christmas or the spring break really provides a lot of motivation for getting out into the gym in the winter and staying fit, maintaining your cycling fitness. Again, Catherine and I are really fortunate. Every Christmas vacation, we have flown to Maui, where we have our bikes stored in a locker. And we spend about 3 weeks riding in Maui, which is, again, a wonderful way to stay motivated and stay fit. But we're really fortunate in that regard. Just plan a trip for the spring somewhere in reasonable proximity to where you live. The other thing you might want to consider is staying off the bike a little more frequently. use the wintertime to explore some other activities. Catherine and I come from a triathlon background, so in the wintertime, and especially this winter, we're going to be doing a little bit more running. We have signed up for a gravel triathlon this coming July, so we're motivated to get out into the local Pacific Spirit Park and run. The other thing I love to do in the winter is to ski, and I have always found that spending time on my skis always keeps me in good cycling condition. It keeps all of those cycling muscles tuned up, and again, when spring comes around, I've always found that getting back on the bike after a winter of skiing is that much easier. The other thing that might keep you motivated in the winter is to ride with friends. Make plans to ride with friends. That accountability will keep you on your bike, and it will make those winter rides a whole lot more enjoyable. There is nothing more unmotivating than riding in the rain by yourself. If you can share that misery with one or two of your friends, it will make that experience that much more pleasurable. And also celebrate some of the tiny little wins. You may not necessarily have the desire to get out into the gym for an hour to ride on Zwift, so maybe just a 20-minute ride on Zwift is more than enough. Consider that a win during the winter. One of the things that's really important is maintaining a good, healthy mindset. Again, don't beat yourself up just because you're not riding in the winter as consistently as you did during the summer. Be gentle with yourself. Winter is a tough time to stay motivated. The days are shorter, the days are colder. That lack of sun does have a significant effect on your psyche. So just be gentle with yourself and consider any ride a victory. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was when you're riding on Zwift, choose your favorite playlist. This is a great time to discover new music, and I often find that music keeps me excited and motivated. Find a special playlist on Spotify or Apple Music. That will get you out on the bike more often. So just remember, it's entirely normal for your motivation to dip during the winter. It happens for everybody. Don't beat yourself up. Consistency is the thing that really counts. Even if it's just getting out for a 20-minute ride 3 times a week, just establishing that consistent pattern is going to keep you in reasonably good condition. Let me know how you stay motivated in the winter. Leave a comment. So, thanks for watching, and until we ride again, take care. So a few weeks ago, I reviewed the Cycplus AS2 Ultra. This is an electric mini pump. I've been riding with it in my cycling jersey. If you're interested in purchasing this mini pump, you might want to check out my review of this mini pump. I'll leave a link here. If you want to buy it, you can use the Peak Pictures code that I've included on the screen here, and I'll leave it in the video description, and you can visit the Cycplus website to purchase your mini pump.